Mm, Hey, what's
Let's
good,
get
y'all? What's
it.
good? What's happening, man? Look, um, if you haven't been here before, welcome. If you have, welcome back. As you should know, hopefully, I'm Dallas Man of Level One Gaming, here with the good brother Lord Cognito, who whose name I shouldn't have said yet because he blesses people so abundantly with these intros. I hope y'all know. I hope y'all understand. So let me try. Haven't thought of this beforehand. Um,
Okay, okay.
but freestyle off the dome with the intro.
Woo!
Introducing,
Let's get it.
introducing the man who would not let you get by, because if you feel like you're trying to say something, he gonna ask, "Are you implying?" The Duke of Destiny, the ninja, the
Woo.
shinobi himself, super nerd OG, and I don't care what anybody else says. You are the face of the Iron Lords and the Iron Lords podcast and Lords of Gaming.net. The good brother, the homie, the person, one of the people who we here at Level One Gaming consider our big brothers in this content creation thing. I'm gonna introduce y'all to Lord Cognito.
Yo, Dallas, what up, man? What's going on?
Man,
Peep game. So that's off the rip. So number one, thank you for having me. Cause like I said, I love working with you. And it's cool that we get a chance to do this because it's funny whenever that intro from IOP Rock, and they be like, yo, who is that on the boss? And I always be like, Dallas, man, level one. Get over there, get on it. He's got the heat. You know what I'm saying? So it's good to see, and it's good for us to do something together. Long overdue.
super
Peeping
overdue,
game.
long
No
overdue,
doubt.
man. And
Hmm.
like, you one of these people. There's very few people that I talk to, but it seems that it always seems to be the people that I look at a certain way or I look up to, or even like the people that I'm close to. But there's very few people that you never hear a bad word about. Told Red Infamy the same thing. I got a interview dropping with her
Oh,
fairly soon. There's just certain
okay.
people you never hear a bad word about, and I don't know if that's because it ain't nothing to say, or you got them shaking in their boots and they dare not. But whichever one of those it is, man, much
I
respect, man.
appreciate it. Much appreciated, bro. Like I said, just always appreciate the love. Never get too big where I feel I'm too Hollywood to talk to people. And you know how it is on the grind, on the struggle. Just you just be yourself, man. Be yourself. And once you be yourself, for the most people, at least people, even if they don't agree with everything, they respect it.
Yeah, man. And you be I hope y'all can't hear him, but you probably can. As the dog Cooper in the background. He's a grumpy old man. If he comes in here, I'm gonna show you because he looked like one. Um, and he's always yelling at the kids to get off his lawn. That's exactly what you hear in the background. Look, I know every time I come on here, I tell y'all we're under zero obligation to be anything resembling professional. But just a couple things just happened tonight that don't normally happen. I know haven't heard the beat before, but I have, and I apologize for that. It's usually something cooked up super fresh right before. I'm normally not as sweaty as I am today. Um, and my dog's usually not going off like that.
You good? You good, bro?
But as we all know, the show must go on. And really, like I could listen to this if it wasn't. It's not as visual as I try to make it seem. Um, and there's just a few things that I've been itching to talk to you about, and
Let's get to it.
it's because like okay, so the way I was raised
Hmm.
was very weird, but there was a village and there was a lot of different perspectives, right? And that's what
Okay.
they say, it takes a village, and it was exactly that, right? So
Yes, sir.
my mama over her lifetime had one marriage, and the man she was married to, my step pops John, um, cool dude, right? But the thing that I loved about him the most was he always put me on, and
Mm.
it's a meme, old people being like, you don't know nothing about that, or let me tell you about this thing that I was on, young blood, when I was a
Yeah,
kid, blah blah
yeah,
blah
yeah, yeah.
blah.
Young blood, pull up, young blood. Let me talk to you. Let me tell you
Let
what's
me tell you
really going
something.
on.
Yeah, man.
Facts.
So he did that a lot growing up, right? And it just
Hmm.
so happens that nearly everything that he did that with, nearly everything that he put me on to, is things that I'm interested in today. Um,
Mm.
there was an episode of Peep Game where I kind of blinked out for a second. The camera came off,
Hmm.
and camera clicks back on, and here I am, like a G in the yellow suit with the black stripe, the Game of Death suit, You know what I'm talking about?
You
With,
talking about that Bruce Lee?
with,
Let's get
with
it.
from Game of Death with the matching nunchucks with the
Oh,
out here moving,
get it.
right? And
Mm-hmm.
and I already and not only can you see clearly that's an inspiration for me, right? But in the back of my head, I know I'm old now, and I know I probably got it from him because in the back of my head, I can hear I'm a freak out if somebody say this the Kill Bill suit.
Oh yeah, yeah. See, that's when you know it's the generational gap, right? When the young bloods say, "Yo, that's from Kill Bill." Nah, man, that's that Game of Death classic, that
Really.
OG.
And it's like
Yeah,
that
man.
thing. You know that thing. I don't know, you probably seen these little TikToks flying around, where they'll tell somebody, of a certain age, "Hey, pretend like you talking on the phone," and they do this, and then they say it to a kid, and they go, "Pretend like you talking on the phone." What is
Yeah,
this?
they do this. Yeah, fact. Yes. Yes. That's where the generational gap right there. Big facts. Oh yeah, yeah. You can tell, man. You can see like it's different, bro. For them, it's different. Like we come from something else and we have different connotation to that. So it's interesting that you did say that.
Yeah, man. It's one of those things that it's like clearly it's not their fault. They was just born
Yeah.
where they was born, right?
Exactly.
It's
Exactly.
not as if they out here like certain rappers talking about Biggie and Tupac suck. That's
Yeah, we
it's not like
dudes
they
be
out here
loose. Yeah.
not like they out here, speaking blasphemy. Um, but I'm so there's a couple of things that
Hmm.
he put me on to. And I'll just
Let's
mention
get
a
it.
couple. You can just tell me your experience with those things. It's
Yeah, let's
things if
get
you
it.
do have one. One
Hmm.
of them I actually mentioned in the Iron Lord's intro.
Get it. Let's get it.
Always been a nerd, never been a loser. Making Voltron with a gang of cougars.
Whoa. Oh, let's get it. Let's get it. Come on, man. I'll bust out the theme song on you right now.
Man,
What? Yo, people don't realize that Voltron joint for the Transformers nerds, that is Peter Cullen's voice introducing, who's Optimus Prime, the voice that we know. Like he was before he got the gig with Transformers. Voltron was his early gig because then you go back to it, it's like now it hits, but at the time, people don't realize Voltron was a movement, bro. Like the Five Lion, bro. When you said that, I was like, yo, like you don't understand, like your verse on the Iron Law podcast intro hits on so many. Like me and King was listening back, was like, yo, Dallas done nailed the essence of us. Like, not only did you nail it, I could tell you listened, but you had so many different references. That was one of them. You know what I'm saying? The Street Fighter joint, the Dallas, the Yoga Flame, like so many bars was like really contextual to specific time frames from our era. So I'm like, yo, he on it. But definitely Voltron, Five Lions, one of the greatest cartoons of all time. Form the blazing sword, form arms and legs. I'll
man.
form the head. Like, bro, that's
That
the essence right there.
so we did an episode about kaiju, right? And
Hmm.
that ended up turning into us talking about well, me explaining like Super Sentai and like
Hmm.
all those Japanese shows and how like the giant robots became a thing.
Oh
Um and like in my head I'm just hearing it. Form, feet, and
yeah,
legs.
and legs,
Form,
form
arm.
arms and body, and
Yeah.
I'll form
The
the
head.
head.
And then it dropped down and then the face comes. Yeah, so I kind of ran into all of that stuff, right? And then
Hmm.
somebody asked me, I can't remember who it was, maybe Chakalaka, maybe Hustle, whoever.
Hmm.
Somebody asked me, "Hey, how old are you?" Um,
Hmm.
and I told him, and it was like, "Man, I thought you was older than me. I thought you were older than that." Like these references that you're using are from this time, and I explained at the beginning of the episode why that was.
Hmm.
Voltron was one of those things. I can't say, for me, it was always about the Black Lion.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Always
yeah.
about the Black Lion,
The leader, the leader. You already
and
know.
it was never about say the Red Ranger with me as a kid when it came to
Yeah.
Power Rangers. It was
Hmm.
more, the Green Ranger.
Yes.
And it wasn't about him being a leader because he wasn't. It was more about him being able to be that lone wolf. Um,
Yes.
the fact that out of all of these Rangers, y'all know his secret identity. Y'all know about all
Hmm.
his powers. Y'all know about everything he got going, and you still can't mess with him. You still can't touch
Facts.
him.
Still can't touch him.
And
Yeah,
like
man. Yeah.
that's kind of how I saw Voltron. Um,
Yeah, bro.
sort of like the
It,
team that you can't really.
listen, it's the most iconic theme. To this day, if we're gonna flip it to gaming, you remember Xbox Live had a Voltron game. Do you
Mm,
remember that?
No.
on 360, bro. It was an in the cut. It wasn't that bad because the part, you know what they did that I like? It was 5 player, right?
Yeah.
And then like they was all individual for a minute, and then there was a part where you do form Voltron, and each lion had a control of one aspect of Voltron's movement, and he would fight the road beast.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? So everybody had to do their part. The game was wild hard. The
Oh,
only
no
thing
way.
that's Bro, it was lit. It was just stupid hard. The only thing I would say that sucked is I tried to speak to people for the combat team. I'm like, bro, where's that Voltron game at? And it's licensing,
Of
bro.
course,
And
it's
they,
always
bro,
licensing.
they had it's always licensed. They had the cartoon music, the whole thing, bro. It literally was the cartoon, bro. Like they did it. Whoever developed it definitely was a fan in the essence of the Voltron cartoon, no doubt.
You know what's messed up about that?
Yeah.
Because when you look at it, when you go back and you research any of these shows, literally
Hmm.
any of them, you talk about Centurions, you could talk about Voltron, you could talk about Thundercats, which we'll get into in a second. Any of
Hmm.
those, right? When you research why they canceled those shows, even though a lot of them did really well,
Yeah.
um, they wasn't selling enough toys.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
le-
You're right.
it's legitimately the fact that those toys weren't moving like they wanted them to, and even if the show had great ratings, they scrap it because of that.
It's funny you say that too, because as a Transformers head, I didn't realize that also till later. Like it was all about the toy line. Because a lot of time as kids, we sitting there like, yo, what happened to this one? Now it's like, yo, we moving on to the new robots now. We moving on to the Stundercons, the aerial bots. Okay, now we moving on to we moving on from Megatron to Galvatron. Now, story-wise, in the movie, they wrote them out. But for a kid, that was traumatizing. Cause like you used to be watching the Saturday morning cartoon or during the week, and you know the good guys win. Nobody get fatally injured. Nobody getting murdered. Like they was out here bodying Transformers.
And they even use the word killed. They would say destroyed.
Destroy exactly. So then, like they showing the Optimus death scene. I ain't gonna front. Listen, man, I'm a grown man, but bro,
Say it.
back
I already
then,
know.
me and my I went to the theater with my cousin. We saw the Optimus joint. We was like, oh no, bro. We is like, oh no. When his head did like this and the body went cold and gray, we was like, yo, this is different. Yeah,
Like
the
you could
tears
feel the
shed, bro.
life leaving his
I ain't
body.
recover, bro. I ain't recover from that one.
Yeah, there's I don't know if too many shows have been able to match that.
Yeah, yeah,
Like
that was different.
there's a couple points. There's a couple,
Hmm.
There's for the Pokemon fans in the Pokemon first movie, when
Mm.
Ash gets turned to stone and Pikachu cries
Yes.
and like there's that moment. Um and even if I can speak on one of those that was like one of the pivotal shows for me,
Let's go.
Batman the animated series.
Ooh, classic.
I don't even remember this girl's name, but the girl that was like who had the psychic powers, who was going
Hmm.
off, and
Hmm.
Batman needed to stop her, and she could read minds. She knew exactly what was going on with him when he got in there.
Mm.
It wasn't a show of force. It wasn't I could beat you up like it is with everybody else, and he wasn't even analytical and tactical like he usually is. He just
Hmm.
went in, and the fact of the matter was he knew that her time was coming to an end and that she was going to die, and he really just went in to just sit with her in her last moments because she was
Yeah,
scared to be alone.
yeah, that's deep.
This
That's
is
deep.
Batman.
Batman. Look at the subject matter at that time too. Like, it was crazy, bro. Batman anime series doesn't get enough credit. And shout out to what is his name, Mark Hamill, who used to do Joker's voice and all that.
Hmm.
Episodes with they actually had some dark and deeper tones in that show than a lot of people give it credit for. You know what I'm saying? I remember that was classic, long running, very good quality. Animation was good. Great show. Love that Batman animated series for sure.
And while we're here, let me address the chat before it gets too somber. Um, you know, first of all, shout out to everybody. Shout out to Flameser because you always one of those people who, when you come in, like whenever the show goes live and we not here yet, I'm in my head, or sometimes I'll ask Baron, who you think gonna show up first, Flames or Hustle? Because it's always one of them. Y'all support like no other. Um,
Yeah, for real.
I seen Sincere here. Shout out to Sincere of Gold Chain Gamers. He
I
just
see
dropped
them. I
some
see them.
fire
Some
today.
heat.
I had to
He was
stutter on
telling
it.
me.
He just dropped some fire today. That's actually why I used a GTA flip today.
Mm.
And don't get it twisted. The instrumental in that song, the beat in that song is
Yes,
killing what I
yes.
did here. Like,
And because what you had here was fire. So if that's killing that,
yeah, it's a little
I need to know
more,
what's going on.
it's a little more energy in that. Something you can rap
Okay.
to. Um,
Okay.
so man, for real. Gerald Mack, shout out to Gerald Mack, who says
Man.
just watched Lower Attic Death Loop run. Where the Lords go, I'll follow. All hail the
Salute, bro.
ILP.
Charles, he a rider, man. Salute to Gerald Mack. He always show love, whatever the Lord's is doing. You know what I'm saying? He always pulls up. You appreciate that, man. 'Cause he, like I say, he could be doing anything with his time, but he rocking with us. Yeah. Much love, Gerald Mack. You already know.
Yeah, man. As y'all know, you are more than welcome. More than welcome to say something in the chat. We address everybody. You're a part of the conversation like we are, especially if you
No
was
doubt.
old as I am. I'm not even
Yeah,
gonna
yeah,
put college
especially
out there
you
like
old.
that.
Yeah,
But
well, no, you can put me out there. Especially you old. It's OG talk, and you know what we talk about. You
Mhm.
definitely can say whatever you want to say.
Man, so I already know clearly, um, clearly from everything I seen of you and everything I hear you say, I know you a man of them ninjas. I know you a
Oh, come
fan of them
on, man.
ninjas. I know you out
You know we
here,
do.
Ryu Hayabusa out here. I know
You know we
you know
do.
what I'm talking about. So
You know.
let's get on that real fast because ninjas are in kung fu in general, um, the martial arts. You know, back then before it
Ooh.
was about Japan, it was about China.
Facts. Facts.
Before it was about anime, it was about Shaolin.
Let's get it.
And
Let's go.
so amongst all those martial artists, just in
Mm-hmm.
a fictional sense, do you have a
Mm-hmm.
favorite or a couple favorites?
Yeah, I got a couple favorites. Obviously, I mean, we would be remiss if we did not mention, you know what I'm saying, who we mentioned earlier. You know,
Mm-hmm.
one of the greatest influences in martial arts, the legendary Bruce Lee. You know, he was just tremendous. The on-screen flair. And then I think what made him great is when you learned the story outside of the movies, right? And you learned about how true he was to the craft, the incorporation of different styles. Because at that time, you know, a dude was like a judo dude. This dude's a boxer. This
Mm-hmm.
dude's a jujitsu. Like Bruce Lee was doing jujitsu in some of his you know, in one of the early movies. You know what I'm saying? Game of Death and all that.
As
So,
kids,
yeah, as
as
kids,
kids when we was out here, playing karate and stuff, trying we made it a point to be like, this is my style. My style is this is
yes,
I'm the
my
snake
style
style.
was this
I'm the
snake style. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? Like, back. So it's like he was the first that because at that time, what he was doing revolutionary at that time, everybody thought their style was the style, but he actually incorporated different things and always took that mindset with Jeet Kune Do of learning and growing, being like water, the whole bit. So yeah, like he was tremendous, and he just had a Bruce had the swag to him too. You know what I'm saying? Like everything he did, all the movies,
Man,
he was a star. He was a star. So going before his time. So gotta shout him out. Then I got some in the cut ones because like for me, shout out to King, like we would run up to like the spots that would get the Chinese flicks, the karate flicks. You know what I'm saying? And then, you know, obviously me, I was a big ninja guy, but before that, you know, obviously Jackie Chan, we were remiss to saying, but I got some in the I got like I used to like the Taekwondo masters, dudes that's nice with their feet. Like that was my joint. So there was just one cat. A lot of people don't know him. His name is John Liu, and like one of his popular movies, this movie called The Secret Rivals. That's the first time I ever seen him, and it's funny the game we used to play, right? So you buy the new Karate Flick, Dallas, right? You buy the new Karate Flick, right? You look at the cover of the box. You don't know nothing about the plot. You don't know nothing about nothing, right? So you watch, you be like, yo, I do right there with the kicks with the white suit. That's my man, right? So you watch the flick. Yeah. So what happened is King used to like the dude who he be in every flick. He'd be the old dude with the beard. You know what I'm saying? He usually the boss, right? And what would yes. So his name is Wong in Chinese flicks. It was Wong Jiang Li, right? I didn't know that at the time. We just call him Master Mall because we didn't know their names, so we just make them. They be like, "Yo, Master Mall's in this one," because we didn't know their names. So that was King's man. So let me tell you the funny thing with this story. Why I became a John Liu fan. So every movie, if he's in it, he's better than the main character. The main character get beat. The main character got to train in a style or something, and then come back at the end. And then most 90% of the time, they would jump the boss character, right? Because he's just too strong to be fighting one on one. So what ends up happening is this cat that I picked, right? one of the best taekwondo. This man foot is flowing. He's doing stances. He is ill, bro. It's like if you play Tekken, the character Harang. That's the
I was just about
closest.
to bring that up.
Okay, that's why Harang is my man because I love dudes who are fluid with the style, the flamingo, the feints, the kick feints, and all that. So
Hmm.
that I was like, oh, this dude's doing that. So what ends up happening? You get to the end, and he kind of bodying Master Ball 1-on-1.
Mm.
So King is like, oh no. It's about to go down.
Mm.
My man about to lose. Then finally he did turn it around, but it looked spooky for a long minute. But because that guy character gave King a scare and his style was so dope, I
You
watched
had to.
every flick that man was in. You know what I'm saying? And then that led me to Five Deadly Venoms. It led me to a lot of big classic kung fu flicks. And then the last thing I say is yeah, the ninja craze, man. I was big. The assassin, the suit, the infiltration, using stealth, caltrops, ninja stars, smoke bombs, whatever unhonorable thing to get the job done. That was I was about the ninjas, man. So yeah, I just thought they were so cool. These trained assassins to infiltrate and beat all these odds, and it was a big craze in the '80s, the '90s, and yeah, man. So since then, every game, and that's how I came across Shinobi, the arcade game. Big ninja influence to me represented it well, and it was on from that point on, bro. Every ninja game, I've literally had almost every ninja game that has existed.
You
That's how
know,
much I love ninjas.
some people might argue credit to the ninjas. Some people might argue that success in your mission is honorable.
Yeah, no facts. Facts, big facts. Listen, the ninja was going against this is feudal Japan, like paid spies. He's going against odds that really one man should not be able to tackle, right? And then to execute the mission and to either take out the target or do whatever he's got to do reconnaissance wise was amazing. And just to go unseen, like that's a fly skill. Like
Just
the suit
yeah.
was hot. You know what I'm
And you
saying?
know,
Yeah.
for me, okay, video game ninja wise, if we talking video games,
Let's get it.
outside of Scorpion and Sub Zero, because they untouchable at all
Mm,
times, right?
yeah.
Um,
Legendary.
you remember Tenchu? You know,
Of
Tenchu
course.
Stealth Assassins came out. My game was the PS2 game Wrath of Heaven. Um,
Oh. Mm-hmm.
and you know, okay, so you beat the game. I think if you beat
Mm-hmm.
the game with Rikimaru and you beat the game with
Mm-hmm.
Ayane, after that you unlock this one more dude whose name I cannot remember, but I know he was bald,
Or
um, and he had his thing was needles. And at the
yes.
time, this was when like the kiss of the dragon for me was like, oh,
Yeah.
so like
Yes,
any dude using needles, like you had me. And so and that was like his main move. You know, they have like the,
Mm-hmm.
the moves like where you they show the X-ray
The
thing, right?
execution. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. So you know the best thing in that whole game to me was watching him execute a dude with a needle to the back of the
yeah.
neck.
Bro. Fire, man. Like I said, I'm so glad you mentioned Tenchu. Tenchu does not get the credit it deserves because look, there's ninja games, and we get it, action oriented, flashy. We get it. But Tenchu to me represented ninjutsu in its proper form, which is truly the art of not being seen. Truly, if you get caught, it's really not to your advantage to be going one on one and fighting the whole squad and people start snitching and then more people start coming.
Yep.
That's real life to me. So the ninja's job is to really go undetected. And I love the tool sets, the caltrops and using the hook, jumping on roofs, and you know what I'm saying, like stalking. Like they really did the closest they've come right now. Shout out to the chat. Origami, you know what I'm saying? I see my man Joe Mack in there. Origami, you could tell whoever made Origami, because part two just came out this week, is clearly inspired by Tenchu. Like like
You
almost
know,
verbatim. Yeah, you gotta try that game, bro.
didn't the
You got
original game have Tenchu in the title?
That's a good question. I'm not sure if it did. You may be right. I gotta go back on it. I don't remember. I remember say something of shadows. I thought, but I'm not sure. But all I know is whoever that made that game is a fan. He was inspired by Tenchu because that I haven't seen ninja games like that. And of course, I gotta give Ghost of Tsushima his flowers, even though it's a story of a samurai who's the Mongols took over his town, destroyed his family, almost killed his whole people. He then takes up ninjutsu because he realizes like, yo, I gotta fight. I gotta play dirt. These dudes ain't got no honor, and it's a good conflict. And what I like is that game. you can choose how you play your style. You could come in with some honorable samurai, announce yourself, I'm here, and all that. Or you can do the ninja style, you know what I'm saying, which is stealth and all that stuff. So yeah, that's a great one. It's rare that most games have that true stealth in it, like you mentioned with Tenchu.
Yeah, like once you see somebody burn your subordinate. Speaking of Ghost of Tsushima, like that's the most gangster shit I ever seen in a video
Gangster, bro.
game.
Bro.
This man was like, "All right, y'all send y'all best dude to fight me 1-on-1." He walks up, sips his drink, and toss it on him, and then that's the most. That's
Bro.
neck and neck with the opening of Assassin's Creed Origins, where you
Yes.
see is this happens in the beginning of the game, y'all, no spoiler, but where
No
he
spoilers.
kills his son. And
Mm-hmm.
then dude throws the knife at him, trying to stop him from coming at him. He picks up the
Mm-hmm.
mask that the dude had on. It sticks in the mask, and then he puts it on his face.
Mm.
That's it's neck and neck with gangsterism in video
Bro.
games.
I agree. When the villain has no respect for the tradition or the honor of what's going on, and it's win at all costs, and it's like, what you gonna do? What?
You gonna follow these rules
Those are the
nobody
greatest.
care about, or you gonna do what you
Exactly.
gotta? Yeah.
Facts.
And
Big
so,
facts.
okay, so I watch Iron Lords a fair amount, right?
Let's get it. Let's get
Um,
it.
it's a every Sunday thing for me. I may or may
Love,
not watch
love.
the entire episode, truth be told,
Yeah, true. Because we be
unless.
like 4 hours. We be like 4 hours. So I can respect that.
But there's times where I have to. You know what
Okay.
I mean?
Okay.
There's times where, because I noticed that y'all, I don't, we have so much in common that I don't even know when you know that you're doing something that either I want to do or I wish I had done
Mm,
myself, right?
love.
Um, y'all had Jake Baldino on. This is somebody
Oh,
I'm a fan, but I was a fan of before content creation. I've been watching Game Rank basically since it started, right? Between him and Falcon, they two of my favorite content creators in gaming, right? Um,
legends.
a third one of my favorites,
Mm.
Jeremy Pincer.
The legendary ACG. Oh, the legend.
I like it, that's one of those people who I have it in my head. I'm going to interview him at some point.
You have to. I'll make it happen, bro. Good dude. Good dude too.
He's
Real one. One of the few real ones out here that's left that don't play the games. That just he listen. I can't say enough about Mr. ACG, man. Like he's the realest, a true gamer, and like I said, just when you get a chance to poly with him, what you see is what you get. Like it ain't nothing artificial with that man. So salute to him, the whole movement, everything he's a part of. That man always got my support, whatever he do.
and that's why I like his content. That's why I like his videos because he don't bullshit you. Like
Yep, straight up.
he will break down the game to its components. He'll explain each
Hmm.
part. He'll be funny about it. He'll give
Yeah.
you straight up examples and then let you
Hmm.
make your decision. Should you
Yes.
for one, he's taking it out of the 1 to 5 or 1 to 10, 1 to 100 scale and
Yeah.
saying, should you buy this? Should you rent it? Should you wait for a sale? Should you leave it
Mhm.
alone altogether? Um, and just approaching something from that perspective means a lot
Hmm.
more to me than a point score.
And what I love that he does that I haven't seen anybody do was like, yo, I bought the game myself because I want you to know, you know what I'm saying? Like
Hmm.
that if you was going to buy this, is it worth your money kind of thing? And like he takes pride and stuff like that. Like he's a savant of reviews. Like the technical precision in the review. You know what I mean? Like he get down to the mechanics of it. So it's a science and it's like he talks about music and things in ways and the way a game plays that I don't see other people play. And shout out to my co-host from Define and Duke, Maddie, who before they was the original team, like Maddie would tell me, like, yo, I studied under the wing. Like he's not ashamed to say it because he's like, he's such a savant with what he does. Like I always give ACG his five. Even before I went to Define and Do, I called the homie up. I'm like, bro, you know what I'm saying? I see the spot. You know, Maddie reached out, but I gotta make sure we good before I do. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just because we all homies, and I needed to. He was like, "God, yo," he's like, "You even had to act like do your thing, bro. Like I got other things going on." You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? Kind of thing, and it was respect. So I got respect for that man. He a good dude and true gamer, welcome anytime, shows love, and yeah, he'll definitely make it happen with the Dallas man. Do something.
And on the other side of that,
Mhm.
with Jake, like he's just a dude. And that's what I like about him. He's just a dude. He like a bunch of the same shit
Yeah,
I like, and he'll just
yeah,
say, here's some stuff about the game, blah 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 blah. But he's really just speaking from his own perspective. He's not caring
yeah,
about like all the extra shit. He just being him.
yeah.
Um,
I
okay.
got another real one on Jake too. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Jake again. Like it's like my first PAX as Lords of Gaming, right? So we going up there, forgot how to connect went down, but it was kind of like pro bono work. They was like, look, we ain't giving you nothing with no games, but we got some big YouTube content creators gonna be here. If you wanna, interview, absolutely. I ain't got no ego. Like even if it's 5 minutes, like let's work.
Yeah.
So yeah, he was one of my first, and I was like, to be real, with you, I knew game ranks, but at the time, people had to put me on like, yo, no, that's the dude. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, oh, okay. And yeah, like and that was like one of my first major interviews, and we sat down with him. He told his story, and then at the end, he was just like, yo, like, you really, I think I was like, I was wrapping up with Petey, who I had doing camera, and Petey was like, he's like, yo, that was a good one. That's your first time. So Jake was like, yo, that's your first time? I was like, yeah, like I ain't never interviewed nobody. You know what I'm saying? Like you will. He's like, yo, that was crazy. And for him to say that to another content creator, people don't understand when you're a bigger content creator and you give any type of praise or any type of acknowledgement to someone smaller than you, like that goes a long way. Cause that gave me the shit like, yo, boom, I could do this. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about like freestyle, off the top, no script, boom, mic, camera, let's go. And as an MC, you know what I'm talking about. Like that's another skill, right? Not everyone can do that. So for him to say like, no, bro, you did a phenomenal job. I will never forget that. Like that took me to another place mentally, how I got to prepare and how I got to do. But yeah, Jake is a real one, funny, regular dude. Like you said, like the stuff we like.
And you
You
know
know
what
what
I
I'm
think?
saying?
I think
Yeah.
the rest of the world just underestimates the power of just being a person.
Yes.
Like you
Yes.
people be so busy trying to think up all these antics to get noticed when
hmm
the one thing nobody else is doing is being you.
Just be yourself, bro. Like
Literally
people,
the only
that's
thing.
what it is. You know what it is though, Dallas? I hate to say it, but it's like a lot of people scared to be themselves because they feel no one gonna listen if they themselves, and they gotta be a character or we gotta disrespect the next man so I could get on. But the funny thing is, once that dry up, they gotta come for you. They
Hmm.
still gotta come for you, and it's up to you to prove and make yourself worthwhile to come to, right? So that's all it is. I mean, at the end of the day, I agree. Just be yourself. Like it's so many people try to be one thing or do what somebody else doing and all this. Be yourself. You'd be surprised. There's so many people that respect that. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying?
man.
That originality and that voice. Yeah.
You be so ooh. Tried to turn myself up. Went way too
Yeah.
hard.
Yeah. Yeah. Your levels went crazy.
Whew. All right.
There you go.
All right, we back. So
Yeah.
besides that, and before I was gonna say that, we was on the ninja thing, and I
Let's
had
get it.
mentioned Ryu Hayabusa, and
Woo.
I mentioned all these other people in content creation
hmm
that I like, but there's a reason that I said everything I said about Dolores, right? Um, and I didn't even know. I'm gonna tell y'all how y'all validated everything I thought. Um, that Q&A y'all did not too long ago
Oh, love, love.
literally validated everything that I thought about y'all. This is how I saw for myself that it was true. Um,
Mm,
so cause y'all went deep.
yeah,
Y'all
we
really
did.
talked about a lot. Y'all talked about, y'all childhoods, how y'all came up. Y'all talked about hardships or lack thereof. It's just as real.
Yeah.
You talked
Yeah.
about and I saw a lot of my own upbringing in that. And what King said, I saw a lot of my own life in it, right? Um, and y'all talking about y'all as a group. I used to be at one point in life up until I don't know, I was an adult and I had to do my thing. Or I was an adult away from the people that I was with rather. I
Mhm.
was an ungodly level good at fighting games. An ungodly level of good. I mean like at games like Dead or Alive. You know what I
Ooh,
mean?
that's a good one. Oh yeah. Oh
Like
yeah.
I was, and there was a reason for that. Cause you didn't
Mhm.
never want to be that dude. You never wanted to be the dude that was worse than everybody else, and you always wanted to be whoever was the best at the game. And so, and I'm missing that. I don't really have that now because
Mm-hmm.
everybody grown, everybody got jobs, some of them got kids, all that type of stuff, and nobody really has time. We have time to
Facts.
game, and we game together sometimes, but
Mm-hmm.
we don't really have time to get as good at fighting games as we were. So
Facts.
clearly nobody's going online,
Mm-hmm.
especially in. But every now and then we might still get on Naruto. Y'all,
Hey.
I heard y'all playing all the same games we play. Like we played
Mm-hmm.
Naruto from Clash of Ninja on GameCube all the way
Mm-hmm.
through the Ultimate Ninja Storm 4, right? We played Tekken, every Tekken,
Woo. Mm.
every Tekken, and you just
Every decade.
just found out today one of your mains is one of my mains.
you's a reg fan. You get busy with that flamingo stance, fam. You switching right flamingo,
You
left
gotta,
foot forward,
mm-hmm,
2-1-1, all
mm-hmm,
that.
all that.
Forward three, okay, okay, bro. I used to print out the facts from game facts, study that joint like it was a dojo Bible. Whenever the moves come out, and be like, "Oh, you bought the what is it, the primer strategy guy?" You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? Like whatever was on your character, bro. We used to do it, man. Learning the counters, learning all the different, and Tekken was so great because of the matchups. Like there were certain characters that really fought better against other characters, and I took pride in not switching. I was like, no, I need to learn how to beat King because he had the kick counter. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? And Saul used to take that to try to slow me up. And it used to be frustrating. You take your L, but you learn. You know what I'm saying? And like, yeah, man, I come from that. We come from that, steel sharp and steel. And we're gonna talk that talk. You gotta have that
Mm-hmm.
mental toughness, especially you see King mouth is loose. You
Yeah,
already know
for real.
how we dealing. He built men out of all of us
And this
just
is
for
with
that,
no cussing, so it ain't no telling.
bro. Loose King in front of the whole crew, embarrass you in front of the homies. You can't have it, bro. You can't. Like it made you better. Like no, he never gonna do that to me again.
Yeah, man.
I will see him. He gonna hear about like, bro. We all, bro. So many of us, man. It was like just dojo sessions all the time. You know what I
It
mean? But
was
yeah, fighting games,
so many
loved it.
games. And keep in mind,
Hmm.
like my pops, he would long story about that, but my pops would like he used to stop playing me in any game that was made from an anime. So all the Dragon Ball Z games, Budokai 3 was our game, right? He stopped playing me in any of those, and he got to a point where he would only play me in wrestling games. So
Mm.
SmackDown, shut your mouth. Here comes the
Oh
pain.
yeah, here come the pain.
All the way through SmackDown versus Raw, and I think we stopped playing in like 2005, 2007,
Yes,
something like that.
sir. Wrestling game's huge.
And he used to always, I don't know what it was, he only played with his created characters, and he always
He
maxed out
cheesing.
his characters.
He cheesing low key though. He did you dirty. He cheesing low key because those dudes had the higher ratings, the faster move sets, the quicker punches to get. We know the game.
Let me tell you how I got him.
How you got
I
him?
made Spider-Man as a character.
Yo,
And I
bro,
thought that not only am I about to beat you with a little dude, because all his dudes was just, jacked. So not only am
yeah.
I about to beat you with a little dude, I'm about to reverse everything you can possibly throw at me. So I literally spent an entire week of worth of nights just learning how to reverse. Just learning how to reverse and learning how to get like big moves out, right?
Fire.
And so, I brought my Spider-Man out with my Rey Mysterio move set and 619 him over and over and
Yes.
over and over and over and over.
Disrespectful. He's disrespectful
Over
with
and
that.
over.
Son. You had to do it. You had to do him like that. You had to do him like that, Dallas.
Oh, head busted, bleeding.
Let me do it. When you do it, when you did 619, you got to do the taunt. You got to do the taunts after. You know what I'm saying? Just to rub it in.
Every time. And let me hop off this ladder too. Just
Yep.
cause. Just
Straight up.
yeah, let me go on and let me smack you in the face with a chair and then hop on the turnbuckles and yeah, it was all that. So but it's crazy how universal that actually is.
Yeah, right. Right.
Anybody with a crew of people growing up,
Mm-hmm.
there was always that. There was always that one or two people that was
Facts.
ungodly level, and
Mm-hmm.
there was that ladder, there was that bracket.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Like it's the spirit. Where I come from is the spirit of the competition. Like we took it. Like when we talk about Bruce Lee and the inspiration, like people that follow Bruce Lee's story, like he would be on set doing a movie, and dudes from the town or wherever, other martial artists that was nice in mid movie filming, they would do this joint where they pull up and they tap the foot. So that means, yo, I want to smoke. What's good? I heard about you. You's a movie dude. What's up? Bruce, stop what he doing. Handle the situation. Where we from, we come from that. Like, when I was so beastly in Tekken, dudes would drive. I'd heard from out of state, heard of me. Yo, what's up? I'm in the town. Arcade, let's go. And it wasn't no way, I'm not ready. No, it's now. It's now. It's on site. Let's go. You know what I'm saying? So when you younger, this was pumping because you had to prove it. You know what I'm saying? But as you build yourself through fire, it's the same thing with the any game, wrestling. It was on site with us. Like, and again, you had. I think what's different now because of the online you miss the physical, the man right next to you, competition with the
Mm-hmm.
sticks or whatever. See, that hits different because it's one thing I'm doing this and I'm on a microphone. Yeah, I'm gonna get you this, that. That's cute. But when that man right next, yo, bro, I have stories where like dudes, I challenge them or whatever, they challenge me. I go to the arcade, who's the nicest. This is the most disrespectful thing I've ever seen, right?
Oh shit.
So there's a dude. I pull up. I'm at Chinatown Fair, New York. Big fighting game community. One of the best, some of the best Street Fighter players, Mortal Kombat players, Tekken players. You go to Chinatown Fair, Korea. If you got a name, you know. So I pull up. So dudes, I seen you get to the arcade. You see how many wins a dude got. You be like, damn, he got a 9 streak, and it's a circle of dudes around him. So I'm like, oh, he out here buying people, right? All right, cool. Let me get my harangue, do what I do. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? Pull my quarter. I got up next, fam. What's up? So he come through, and then I never forget. First round, close, right? Caught me with a low sweep. I'm like, damn, I made a tactical error. All right, cool. So all this time, I ain't see next to him. He got his girl, right? So when he beat me in the first round, he looked to his girl, blow a kiss at his girl, like, yeah, what's up?
Mm.
I said, oh no, he did not do that.
Oh, it's gonna get good.
Oh, it's on. And now you blowing kisses? You
Cause you just
okay?
sweeten the deal. Cause
Yeah.
now when I beat you, yeah.
So get this around two, right? Wash him, get him up out of here, right? I look at my man. So I was like, so he tight now. He tight. So now I got him all off. See, this is the mental, right? So he like, oh, where are you? Okay. So now we talking in the round for the third round, and it is loose, and I missed that. Like it's a different level. But of course, the kid third round got him up out of there, did it again. You know what I'm saying? Don't be blowing no kisses, fam, when I'm fighting you. You know what I'm saying? So it's mental toughness. It's adapting on the fly. It's not letting another man get you off your mental. We call it off your squabble. Don't let nobody get you off your squabble. Stay on your
Mm-hmm.
square. And I miss that. It's a spirit of competition. And I think the younger generation, no disrespect to them, but it's just when you online, yeah, you could talk. I remember the Call of Duty lobbies was a little vicious. I ain't go front. You know what I'm saying? That probably was closest, but like you really don't get that no more. That's a
Mm-hmm.
different, you know
Cause
what
I
I'm
can
saying? It's
reach
even with
out. If you next to me,
yeah.
I can reach out to you.
You know how I go. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Go Che. He said, yeah, slamming quarters with a cabin, take it. Bro, that's what it was about. That's
Mm-hmm.
what I'm from. I'm cut from that cloth. So all this other stuff really doesn't hit me the same. But it's just it's interesting to me, like when you tell your story, and even people who got siblings like Kai, Sovereign and Kai, their brothers, you know, the tussles in the house. What happened, son? Yo, stop cheesing that move.
Mm-hmm.
You
I
know,
remember niggas thought
do
we would take our stuff. We would just grab our PS2 or whatever system we had at the time and just take our stuff from spot to spot. I remember dudes
facts.
thought we was stealing shit. Like, we had like a little mini TV or whatever. You know, we walking through the apartments. I heard a dude go, "Hey," we look around. Hey, y'all be thieving?
Big facts, bro. But yeah,
Man.
man, I love that you also come from that because those are the stories. To be honest, it made you a man. It gave you mental toughness at
Mm-hmm.
a young age to be able to handle things. And when you get in that zone and you could just block things out and focus on the task, that made you the better fighter. Half of the fight is mental, bro. So much of it is mental. And I miss it. I love that competition, man. It's so good.
Cause back then you swing in real life, you lost.
You
You
lost.
swing because you couldn't take it. You couldn't take it in the game. You had to fight me for real. So you lost. We can do this too, but
Mm-hmm.
you just still know you lost. I still got that. I still got
Lost.
that stuff to talk.
Got you up in here so
Mm-hmm.
much that you already you violated. Facts.
Hey, Sensei, you don't want no work in any of these OG wrestling games, man. What's up?
Yo, you know what we need to do, Dallas? We gotta bring it back to the you know what joints I used to love? If anybody played the what is it? The I know you mentioned the SmackDown joints, but the WWF, the No Mercy joints
No
from the
mercy, yeah.
64, all them joints, them Aki wrestling games, to me, don't get me wrong, SmackDown was fire. But I think them 64. I bought a Nintendo 64 just for them games. We used to do tournaments. We used to do the we used to make our own pay-per-view. King bought the belt for real. Whoever won that week, you take the belt home. Nobody ain't want to lose that belt, fam.
I remember when I first got when I first got No Mercy, and every game I got, if you can create a character in, that's what I do. So I remember not knowing how to change my character's name and was just running around with a dude named Edit Man.
Edit, man, stop.
For real. Like, okay, so let me see. What
Let's
game for
get it.
us? It was just Zach Tyson. One of the
Ooh.
parts of the lingo because it started from Dragon Ball Z Budokai 3.
Mm-hmm.
My uncle, who was like closer in age to me, he would um he would play as Cell, perfect
Mm.
Cell, super perfect Cell or whatever.
Okay,
And
okay.
like, if you know Cell, he got that reach.
Mm-hmm.
So he got reach, but at the same time, you can by depleting your energy just a little bit, if you hit X right at the right time, right where it would hit,
Mm-hmm.
you'll weave the move.
You weave the
So
move, yes.
yeah. And so we used to go back and forth, and it was a lot of like energy management. But when he got you, he would he just had them strings, so it would go
Yes.
on forever if you didn't have enough energy to reverse it.
Yes.
He would say, "I'm hitting you with the Zach Tyson," and so every time somebody was winning, and whoever that was fighting couldn't reverse it, it was Zach Tyson. It didn't even make no sense. There's nobody named Zach Tyson.
those names dudes be coming up with on the fly, and what happened when they keep doing it to you? You start to dread that joint. You be, oh, he ain't about to do that. Oh man.
And anytime he said that, he ended up on a winning streak. So for me, it
Facts.
was I would sing. Mostly I
Mm.
was singing Outkast songs. Like at the time, it was that. And so if I'm singing this, if I'm really feeling the song and I'm in it, I'm winning.
Bro, you like me. I used to do that. It's funny, bro. I used to do that. So, yo, we when you feeling yourself and you in the zone and you start spitting bars while you fighting.
Cause they take them
Yo,
off. Cause like how you don't even know this song. Shut up.
yo, that's big facts. We used to do that. I forgot about that, son. What Mental Games 1-on-1, fam? Big time. Sing the song, all that.
Yeah, man.
Get those hot.
Everything
Or
we
you
could
wear
think of.
another thing. Wear if you do it a creative cat, wear like a goofy, stupid outfit that you know gonna annoy the next man. Like they don't want to lose to you looking like that. That was always a hilarious play.
And that's what I did.
Always.
Like in the
I already
wrestling
know.
games, I would just make outrageous characters. So like I said, I
Yes.
made Spider Man. I ended up making the Hulk. Now the thing about that is, if you're gonna make him look like the Hulk, your
Mm.
muscles is gonna be like if you made him too big, it was like a Captain America shield under your shirt.
It
Like
was crazy.
and you look stupid. And that was
Yes.
I couldn't beat my pops if I didn't take him off his square. So like it was just
Yep.
I got to do something dumb, and that's what I did.
Facts.
I would just make
Facts.
outrageous characters, and I don't know, man. It's one of them things where it's crazy that enough of us had that in common
Yeah,
for it to be a
isn't
thing.
it crazy? Like you said, like how many people we tell these stories. Shout out to everybody in the chat, but like they had similar stories. Because a lot of times you think only your crew, only your peeps are doing this type of thing, but all over the world, even different countries, we talk to people. We have one ILP, and we be like, yo, you used to do that too. That's crazy. Gaming is universal, man. That's the beauty of it. Like everybody was on it on some level in a similar fashion. It's dope at the same time.
Yeah, man. So I know I'm jumping back and forth around on the
Oh,
conversation,
let's
but you know
go.
how I
Nah,
go.
you good. You know how to
Um,
go.
so you was mentioning certain movies. I want to ask you if you've seen this movie.
Okay.
While we was talking about some of our favorite
Mm-hmm.
martial artists and some of our favorite fictional martial artists.
Get it.
I don't even know what this girl name is. Yeah, it's a girl, young girl. Well, she's probably old now, but young girl.
Mm-hmm.
But have you ever seen this movie called Chocolate?
Nah, never seen that, John.
I'm about to
Yeah?
find this because I gotta
Yeah, you
send you
gotta put me on.
the trailer like right now. But
Mm-hmm.
so this movie was about a girl, like an autistic girl,
Okay.
and her family. In her family, her mama used to be, I think, a triad, or her daddy used to be a yakuza.
Okay. Okay.
And so, they got together and they did their thing. Also, shout out to Fame. If you can hear this, I appreciate you. Thank you.
Mm.
You know what I'm
Chocolate.
talking about. But okay, so he's one was one and one was the other, right?
Okay.
She ain't know nothing about her daddy. She lived with her mama and her cousin. Now her mama got sick. She got real sick. These medical bills going crazy.
Mm-hmm.
They can't do nothing about it. She best friends with her cousin. Her cousin like, man, we got to do something. So they end up one day finding a little book of people that owed her money,
Mm-hmm.
who this was, how much they owed, and they
Stop.
get the bright idea of going to collect
Stop.
these two little kids. So
I'm looking at the box art right now. This look fire. She get busy. Continue.
they walk up to go do their thing. These
Mm-hmm.
people think because it's a little girl, they think she's sweet just because it's a little girl. Little did you know she's a savant. It's a Thai boxing spot right across the street from her, and she watched them all day, kicking the post at home, just sharpening her shit. Little did you know, she watched these karate movies all day and all night. And like I said, she's a savant. She see it, she can do it. And so now you touch it, you put a hand on her, and she going in. And that's basically what it was. That's the movie in a
Sound
nutshell.
fire. This sound fire. I definitely gonna watch it. I see the box.
So
I'm picking it
good.
up. That speaks to me. That speaks to me for sure, man. Did you get a chance? I know we more on the place. Did you get a chance to see Shang-Chi?
I haven't seen it yet.
Oh, you need to see that,
I
fam.
gotta see it soon, but I
Yeah, because
haven't
you
touched it
you
just
you
yet.
you you cut from that cloth of the movies we like, and like this is the closest I feel in the modern era that they really did their thing. You know what I mean? Like they really respected the craft. Yeah, they got a little supernatural with it on certain things, but you need to peep that joint. If you're a fan of that, yeah, you got to see that, fam.
Got
They
you.
showed out. Hmm.
There's a couple. If we want to talk about something with good special effects that came from kind of back in the day, um, there was one called Storm Riders.
Okay.
If you remember any of the movies with this dude named Wind and a dude named Cloud,
Hmm.
and then there's another one who, to me, like I don't even know how to explain this other than saying it's if Romeo and Juliet was turned to an anime
Okay.
inspired by Naruto that was live
Okay.
action.
Okay. Okay.
So it's the story of Romeo and Juliet, like this ninja clan and this ninja clan are beefing, but
Hmm.
this dude that's like supposed to take it over and the girl that's supposed to take it over end up being in love, and everybody's
Mm.
got like a jutsu. Everybody's got this power.
Mm.
So and it's like the fights in it are the fights you would
Crazy.
expect, good choreography
Yeah.
and stuff. But then
Yep. Yep.
everybody's also got these powers that somebody's
Mm.
so when somebody meets up and when they square up, you have to figure out a way to get past this weird stuff that you don't know how to get past.
Okay. That sound fire too.
And that's all I'm gonna tell you. It's called Shinobi. Um,
How I don't even know about this. I'm disrespected. I don't even know about no movie named Shinobi. I should be ashamed of myself. I should know this.
man,
What? What?
you should have almost sued them, thinking they was making one
Yeah,
about you.
like, bro. Okay, okay, I'm seeing it right now. Heart under blade. Okay. See. Oh yeah, I remember Ninja Assassin. I remember that joint, but Shinobi Heart under blade. In the cut type joint. Yeah, looking like a Romeo and Juliet. I see homegirl. Oh, it's on. I'm peeping this.
Yeah, man. I ain't
This is
know.
definitely.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
my dog's going off.
Now you good.
Sorry,
All
I
right.
didn't. I didn't expect to get no homework today, but these are good.
Now you hit me. Chocolate and Shinobi. This is in the queue right now, bro. This is going down. This is me. This is the essence of me right here. I love that. Love that martial arts, that purity, and this speaks to the art. Just the box art alone, I already know it's gonna be fire.
And I know we'll have to dip pretty soon, but while we talking
Yes,
about
sir.
martial arts and good martial arts, choreography and all, can you tell me within gaming if you
Mm.
seen anything that tickles your fancy martial arts wise? I got a good 3, 4 of them in my head right now, but
I got one coming up. I got one coming up. That seafood.
know you
That
talking about seafood.
seafood, bro. That seafood. That's speaking to me. I'm like, okay, I like what y'all doing. And then like when he lose, he get older, and that the whole concept look crazy. So seafood's a day one. There's another joint, I think on Xbox stage, something midnight, something express something that's kind of like in a
Midnight
seafood
Fight
bag.
Express.
Midnight Fight Express. Yes, that one. That's another one. Again, that hand to hand, that purity. They got little extra scenes and driving and all that, but very stylistic. I like the vibe. So those two off rip. Trying to think of one more on the martial arts, on the choreography tip. Just that for right now, those two. What you got right now? What you got your eyes on that you peeping?
Okay, so if we talking about right now,
Yeah,
seafood and Midnight Fight Express, you said it.
facts, big time.
So I was thinking about something a while back, but since you brought up seafood, let's go on and
Let's
talk
get it.
about it. Absolver is underrated.
Yes, yes, very
Absolver
much
is
so.
too underrated because it's so
Very much so.
just the way you build your combat deck reminds me of SmackDown versus Raw and stuff, and building your move set for your wrestler.
Mm-hmm.
And you want to make something. If you really know what you're doing in building those moves, you want to make something that can go real good into something else, or that can put you in a position where you can do a reversal if it come down to, or whatever. You just want to,
Mm-hmm.
like, there's a certain method to your madness when you are building your moves, and
Yes.
and then you still kind of want to be a showman. You still kind of want to rub it in their face a little bit. So you are meticulous about how you build your moves. And Absolver is one of those where not only do you do that, you got to earn the moves. And not only do you have to earn these moves, but it is like we talk about being forged in the fire. It's exactly that, because you earn them just by fighting, and by
A
if you get them
fighting.
used on you, and if you block them, you get a little progress towards that move that you want to learn. But
Mm-hmm.
in that same breath, if you get good and you dodge it just at the right time, you get more experience towards that move.
Yes, towards it. I love that concept.
And then
That concept. Yes.
here's the
Talk to me.
kicker:
Let's go.
it still don't lock in unless you win the fight.
Yes. Out of fire. I like the concept, bro. It's very original. It takes it back to the essence, right? Where it's like, as a fighter, you're fighting against something unknown. You peeping style, right? You learning, you absorb, and then you're like, okay. And I love that win condition, because then it's like you've earned the right. You beat that master, that you beat that style. Like, I love that. I mean, Ghost of Tsushima really do not. Nobody's done it as extensive as Absolve on that level, but I did like that Ghost of Tsushima attempted to be like, okay, peep somebody, and then you get more technique towards learning the enemy kind of thing. But other than that, Absolver was unique in that space. Like that's true, in my opinion. Like martial arts, like just learn it. You know what I'm saying? And then using that win condition to take it to the next level. That's fire.
And then if we want to talk about, and now this is dated and it didn't
Let's get
age
it.
very well,
Let's get it.
but I got it sitting over there on my shelf for a reason.
Yeah, what you got?
PlayStation 2 days, man. I think it was on Xbox as well. Um,
Mm-hmm.
the Matrix Path of Neo is underrated.
Ooh, very much so.
And not
Very
only
much
for the
so.
fact that it takes you through everything,
Mm-hmm.
and it actually adds some context to the movies, because it
Yep.
is canon except for the
It's
ending.
canon. Yes.
Not only that, and not
Mm-hmm.
only do they do weird stuff and kind of make it make sense, like vampires being canon in the Matrix,
Mm-hmm.
which, so y'all know, next week we talking about the Matrix.
Oh, I
Um,
already know.
yeah, man. So
Going down.
not only that, but how
Mm-hmm.
extensive the actual move set is, right? Um, and then not only that, not only do you learn new moves as it goes, because the tutorial is long as hell.
It's crazy.
But not only do you learn new moves as it goes, but then you have a second move set for, say, the Kali sticks that you might have, an extra move set for your katana. That katana
Very
don't
in
have the
depth.
same move set as the sword. That sword
Yep.
don't have the same move set as the bow staff. And
Mm-hmm.
they all have literally fully realized sets. And what you
Yes.
do, your grapples, everything is different. And it's not just
Mm-hmm.
one of them. There's plenty for everything, right? And for the time that it came out, I don't remember what year it was, but it was PlayStation 2 era. So y'all can imagine about how much memory there was there
Oh yeah.
on that disc. So for
Mm-hmm.
that time, if you remember the Matrix, y'all remember the Merovingian's Mansion,
Oh yeah. Classic.
the one of the best fights in that trilogy, right? Where
Period.
there's a hall, and then there's like the stairs
Mm-hmm.
coming down, and all along the wall is a bunch of different weapons.
Mm-hmm.
This is one of those things where, like, literally every weapon on that wall you can pull off of it, with the exception of shields. But I don't know if if they showed the shield in the whatever. The point is, all the weapons on that wall you could pull off and use, and each one of them had a different moveset.
Actually, bro, that game was so ambitious for its time. Like what they were pulling off, it's criminally underrated. Because I think what it was back then, movie games had a bad stigma for not being good. So usually when a movie game came out, you'd be like, you know what I mean? They just trying to cash in. But nah, Matrix has some joint, man. Like they had, and it was, and what I like is the fighting was always top notch. And then they, like you said, they fleshed out the narrative. they would give you in between stuff too. So you like, oh, because you like people don't realize Matrix was huge, bro. Like that was a movement, bro. That was a phenomenon at its time. So that's why yeah, next week gonna be crazy.
And
Like it's gonna be
it
yeah.
forever changed action movies.
Yes, yes.
Action cinema was not the same after that.
Preach. That Matrix one is still in my top five of all time. Like that, I remember that movie changed my life. I was like, yo, what is happening right now? This is crazy. He's like, oh, you think that's air that you breathing?
And that is not hyperbole. When you say I already know it's not. When you say it changed your life, because I'm one of those,
Yeah.
and I was a young, impressionable mind. And you just said that one line, like after everything was explained about the Matrix, and then how much it was the real world, and whatever happens to you here is gonna happen here. And yet, and still, while you there, he asks you, "Do you think that's air that you breathing?" And it clicks to you like, "Oh shit, there really is no
Yo,
spoon." Like,
yo, it was, bro. It was. Yo, I never seen anything like that. It broke your mindset on what a movie and the action genre can be, and the way they combine it with the tech. And I mean, yo, they was listen. It is iconic. It is
and
nothing to this day that really matched that first movie. Like to
after
me.
the Matrix, every game had bullet time.
Oh yeah,
Every game, and they still do. If we really talking about it, they
you
still
right.
do.
They pioneered that. Facts. Big facts. Salute to the
Man,
Matrix,
you
man.
put me on something. I am actually rewatching the trilogy,
That's me
and
too.
I'm throwing the Animatrix in this, but I'm rewatching the
Yeah,
trilogy. A, in preparation for the new movie,
of course.
and B, next week, y'all, me and Jedi from Gold Chain Gamers are doing a
Okay.
discussion on the Matrix.
Oh, I gotta peep it.
Yeah, so and there's gonna be a video after that about our theories. Um, I'm gonna kind of do it dumb for the video. I got something in mind for that.
You got
But
something cooking.
in next week, we talking about that, and we are going to kind of recap what happened throughout the trilogy, give our opinions on it, and actually also have theories, not only
Okay.
for what might happen in the next movie, but theories for little known and little paid attention to things within that
Love it.
trilogy.
I'm gonna peep it, bro. I'm gonna peep it because at the end of the day, like that's me. You speaking to me. That's my soul right there. Like regardless to whatever happened, and we obviously we hope they keep the essence. They stay true. It's a legitimate reason to be back in the universe. Obviously, there's a lot of questions. You know what I'm saying we have, but we gotta break it down. You gotta break it down. I gotta tune in for that, fan. Like that's my joy. Matrix. I'm doing this. I'm literally doing the same thing as you. I'm up to what is it? Revolutions and the architect scene, which I
Oh,
think is a very underrated scene.
it is. It's super underrated.
Very like that joint. Listen, I know Matrix One. I get it. But there's still other joints in the trilogy. There's moments in the trilogy where you like, yo, the way he broke it down and every single one before you, but why you're different and trying to chastise them about, for people where they see it. Like, bro, he got deep with it.
He
Like, you like,
did.
oh, you're the anomaly. I get why. Like, it's fire, bro.
Hmm. And yeah, when you
Crazy
really
mental.
realize the purpose, the real purpose of the one and why, then you start thinking about other stuff, and you start thinking about, oh well, the same thing could go for every program, and it does. Then you start thinking, oh wait, ain't the Oracle a program? And then
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it gets deep.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Deep. Crazy
Chakalaka
movie, bro.
says you got to peep it, huh? Because it's the Peep Game podcast.
you know. Salute. Salute. For real.
Man, I love y'all. I really do. Y'all don't even know.
Much
Um,
love.
Hey man, look, we are a little over time for what we was gonna do. It started to get fun, and we got to do this again because there's
Oh
much
yeah.
more that I plan on talking to you about during tonight.
Oh, for
But
sure. For sure. I'll come
um,
back.
it's got to happen. We'll figure out a good day, good time, or
Yes,
whatever, and
sir.
we gonna make it happen. But
No
y'all, this
doubt.
is level 30. We
Ooh.
almost we almost to my age out here, man. This has been going since I don't know when, whatever. Well, clearly 30 weeks at least. Um, and I really, really appreciate y'all. There's more and more people showing up each time. I really appreciate y'all.
Dope. Dope.
It's always good conversation. And
Mhm.
before we dip up out of here,
Yo,
Lord Cognito, man,
what's up, brother?
like you say, I need you to get your bars off.
No doubt. No doubt. First of all, salute to my man Dallas, man. I had to show love. Love what you're doing. A unique style, which I like. I like uniqueness. I like originality, which we talk about, and it suits your personality because it's freestyle off the top. But you got somewhat structure, but you really being yourself, and I like this lane for you and geek culture and mixing it of all the different genres and stuff. And we went all over the place, but it was fun, man.
We
I
did.
salute. I like what you're doing. You know I'm gonna come back, show some love and support. I love what Level One is doing. Shout out to Fame, shout out to Floor Hugger, shout out to Home, shout out the whole team. Level1gaming.com. Y'all out here moving. You know, it's good to see y'all media. Gotta support, you know what I'm saying? Brothers are doing their thing and sisters doing their thing. Fire. You already know me at Lord Cognito on Twitter. Much love. Iron Lord Podcast every Sunday, the Lord's Day, 11 a.m. Eastern now because the Lord's been in the need of football. So we go wait.